shoots another person, and you get the gist. But boiled down, it's a parody of a scene from The OC that utilizes the song Hide and Seek by Imogen Heap as the punchline. It premiered in 2007 when SNL was still relatively new to the digital short segment, and it had quite the impact. One major thing to take into consideration is that release year, 2007, a year that is pretty critical in regards to this short's success. This was the year YouTube became a thing. Much of what made Dear Sister such a hit was how easy it was to share. I mean, if you look at some of the other viral videos from that time, this thing lines up as being a simple concept comedy short using an internet reference as a gag. It's that lo-fi aesthetic of the short that makes it so appealing compared to most of the shorts you see on SNL today. Akiva Schaffer, a member of The Lonely Island and ex-writer for SNL, sums it up in a Huffington Post article when he said, "So it was definitely a last-minute short, and the reason it looks like it does is because that's just a hotel suite. When it gets to be Friday night and you haven't figured it out, then the only thing you can do is rent a hotel suite, grab some lights, and film in there." And so that's what it is, just a hotel room and some lights. Because of this simplicity, people replicated it. There were countless remakes on YouTube to different TV scenes poking fun at the same trope. The very fact that the short was so influential led to controversy, as its popularity happened around the same time as the Virginia Tech shootings. Fans of the short continued to replicate and worship it amidst the tragedy, leading to a negative piece regarding the short from New York Times writer Noam Cohen. But I don't see any of this as a true reason for why this short nowadays is looked at as such an important piece of media. I think the main reason it's something I look back at and appreciate is the fact that it feels ahead of its time. For 2007, this feels like something you'd see on Adult Swim in 2015. While many achieved the same, no comedic short captured what was one of the first representations of millennial comedy the way Dear Sister did. While Cohen's central issue with the short was its influence, it's safe to say based on the article that Cohen is one example out of the thousands of older viewers who don't necessarily understand the appeal of this short. But as someone who does clearly appreciate it, I don't blame them. Much of the appeal of quote-unquote millennial comedy is the lack of understanding that comes with consuming it. This short fits within the same brand as something like Eric Andre, Tim and Eric, certain episodes of Rick and Morty, and a lot of the humor you'd find on the internet. It's humor not meant to be discussed or understood, it's just funny because it's funny. So rather than trying to understand something that's not meant to be understood, it's a better use of time to understand why rather than how Dear Sister is that first piece of millennial comedy. But to understand that, you really have to understand what millennial comedy is. Rachel ROSD, a writer for The Guardian, puts it nicely in this article that tackles the subject when she writes, "One explanation for all this unrealism is that it's a response to a world that has stopped making sense. Philosophical absurdism argues that the universe is inherently irrational, a perspective rendered particularly apt by the unpredictable political developments of the past few years." I really love that approach, and to piggyback off of it, I think this style of comedy not only questions meaning, but it also questions necessity. The digital age, in my opinion, has brought in a sense of excess. Streaming services, online shopping, even pornography. Dear Sister came at a time where this rise of accessibility had its start. Having now grown into the norm, I think this newfound access has a lot to do with how society views humor. With access to pleasure at your fingertips, this lifestyle has questioned what gives us fulfillment. Much of the unknown is now known thanks to an excess of content, and with something as low stakes as the internet, humor is a part of that excess. The concept that anyone can share a piece of art is funny in itself. A guy microwaving bread to nobody isn't that funny, but somehow putting it on YouTube adds to the joke. The fact that that is the entirety of the joke is the joke itself. This newfound access questions the necessity of the traditional punchline. When it costs nothing, you're able to produce comedy that's funny because of its existence rather than that punchline. This is why Dear Sister feels like not only a creative piece of traditional comedy, but a significant part of this new trend. It has a punchline, but half the joke isn't the actual punchline. It's the repetition. It's that lack of conclusion, something the writers were completely aware of when putting it together. That's the joke. In an article from the Washington Post addressing the same subject, Elizabeth Brunig writes, "Rather than trying to restore meaning and sense where they've gone missing, the style aims to play with the moods and emotions of an illegible world. In a way, it's a digital update to the surreal and absurd genres of art and literature that characterized the tumultuous early 20th century. Dear Sister updates this genre by making comedy itself a victim of the joke. Even comedies from the 80s like The Naked Gun and Airplane have punchlines and embrace slapstick more than they do parody. You still get those repetitive, over-the-top gags that are just as funny, but at the end of the day, these are structured jokes compared to this. What I'm saying is this lack of a structure, of thought, of a concrete punchline, that is the short making fun of comedy. The pleasure comes from not only this clever approach to humor, but from this rejection of traditional comedic norms, especially in the entertainment industry where creativity needs to be pushed through so many doors before seeing an audience. It's no wonder someone like Filthy Frank, someone who defined more of the last decade than most would like to admit, also references this short in one of his albums. rice. That character is also, in a sense, a poster child for this new wave of comedy. It's attempting to achieve the same thing by saying things on the internet, creating things on the internet, because he can. The punchline is simply the existence. It's a little dramatic to call a 4-minute short with barely any plot one of the most influential pieces of comedy of the last 20 years. But then again, it's those characteristics that makes this short just that defines what it means to create in the digital age. The bigger it gets, the funnier the very existence of this short becomes. To attempt to understand something not meant to be understood seems silly and contradictory, but with the rapid speed at which content is being produced and consumed today, it's worth slowing down and appreciating those works that make a difference. So with all that being said, thanks for watching. Check out this short and form your own opinion, and I'll see you.
Greetings my beautiful lovelies, it's Emmy and welcome back. Today's video is sponsored by Zojirushi, the makers of my favorite rice cooker. This month, September, is National Rice Month, and Zojirushi has joined with US Rice Federation in celebrating the 30th anniversary of National Rice Month. Today I'm going to be using this beautiful machine that Zojirushi sent me to cook rice that has been grown domestically here in the US. Did you know that the US produces over 20 billion pounds of rice annually? 20 billion pounds. These are some of the varieties of rice. I had no idea there were so many different varieties that were grown domestically. Sushi rice, jasmine rice, Texas long grain rice. Look at this beautiful purple rice. Sprouted brown rice, arborio rice. So all of these rice varieties were grown here in the US, mostly on family farms located in California, Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, and Arkansas. So big thanks to Zojirushi and the US Rice Federation for supporting my channel and for sponsoring this video. Now today I'm going to be combining forces and using some domestically grown sushi rice and my new Zojirushi rice cooker to test out this gadget. Look at this. This is actually a toy that I've had for many years. I've been holding on to this for a long time because this looks a bit daunting. This is a toy for children to make makizushi. So before we can even test the gadget, we're going to have to cook up some rice. Growing up, we always cooked our rice using a rice cooker. Just until recently have I learned how to cook rice on a stovetop because I always used a rice cooker. That was one of my assignments, my chores, was to wash and get the rice ready for supper. And using a rice cooker, it couldn't be any easier and it always cooks it perfectly. This is the NP-NWC10 model and it has a lot more functions than my last cooker. We can cook different types of rice, including regular rice, sushi rice, jasmine rice. You can also cook oatmeal, and there's a GABA brown function. So I just learned that GABA brown is not a new variety of rice. In fact, it is a technique of cooking brown rice to release more GABA. And GABA is short for gamma-aminobutyric acid, which is supposed to be better for you. There's also a kanji function, which cooks a rice soup, one of my favorite things to have for breakfast, also porridge. So this is a much fancier model than my last machine, and I have to say, after spending some time using it, I quite like it. Simple features like having a clock is so handy because then I know exactly when my rice is ready. My last model did not have a little digital screen, so I didn't really know when the rice was going to be done until it was about 15 minutes before it was finished. It would do kind of a 15-minute countdown. But this one specifically tells you how many minutes are left. And I love that because I can tell my youngest child, who is very much interested in time, exactly how much time it's going to be before dinner is ready. Simple things, simple pleasures. So Zojirushi started way back in 1910 as a vacuum bottle company and changed their name to Zojirushi in 1961. And Zo, which is the Japanese word for elephant, stands for strength and intelligence. Look at that logo, so stinking cute. Zojirushi also manufactures other appliances, including electric griddles, coffee makers, bread makers, and I can attest to their quality. I have the electric griddle, and I also have the bread maker, and both of them are excellent. So let's go ahead and use this to make our rice. Couldn't be any easier. Pop that open, and we take this bowl out. This is a 5.5 cup capacity cooker, which means it will cook up about 10 cups of fully cooked rice. So today we're going to be making sushi rice. So we're going to follow these increments. The cooker comes with a specific measuring cup, and we're going to be cooking 3 cups today. So I'm going to measure out my California grown sushi rice. So we're going to take this in the sink, and we're going to run some cold water over it, agitate it, and then drain it. And we're going to do this 3 to 4 times until the water is pretty clear. Alrighty, so now that we've rinsed and washed our rice, we're going to dry the bottom, place it into our cooker. Since I added 3 cups of rice, I'm going to add water to the 3 cup level here, specifically for sushi rice. And then we're going to close it. I'm going to push the menu button for sushi. And then I'm going to hit start. And it sings me a song. So I know in 67 minutes, my rice will be complete. And while that is cooking, let's go ahead and open this up. So this is the Futomaki Maki Cook Joy Sushi Maker. It's made by Bandai. Here is the toy itself. So here are some different molds. Here is the main unit. Here is a little rice paddle. This is a little pair of tongs to pick up the sushi. This is a component of this. This is very convenient. This is a little stand for our cards, so we can look at our instructions while we're making our sushi. So there's a plastic band, and here, my lovelies, are the instructions. Is that not intimidating? Oh my goodness. Very illustrative. They're step-by-step illustrations, which helped. And there's also YouTube, which I will also be referencing if I get stuck. Oh my gosh, so this machine is capable of making small, medium, and large sushis, and you'll need to make those different sizes in order to make these different designs, like this teddy bear. So I've already washed all the components. Let's put this together. So we're going to take our plastic band, we're going to insert this roller inside. Then we're going to insert this roller, place that here, and then we're going to insert this last roller into here. Clip right here. All right, we have 1 minute left on my rice cooker. Just kidding, that was more like 10 seconds. There it is, all beautifully cooked. So go underneath the rice and give it a stir. Just turn it over lightly. And if you run your rice paddle under a little bit of water before you scoop it, the rice will not stick to the rice paddle. And now we are ready to color this so we can make our sushi. And I'm going to be using some of this. This is Dekofuri, and this is specifically for coloring rice for bento boxes. So in this bowl, I'm going to be making pink. So I'm going to add 1 packet of this. Look at that. Immediately, it turns the rice a beautiful color. What's really great about Dekofuri is that it's already seasoned, so we don't need to add any salt or anything additional to this. To keep the rice from drying out, cover it with a little bit of cling film. Next, let's do a little bit of yellow. Alrighty, so the rice is prepared. Now we have to prepare the seaweed. For the large rolls, we're just going to take the nori sheet and fold it in half. The medium rolls, we're going to take the half sheets and then fold them into quarters. And for the small rolls, we're going to cut this into 8ths. So the first sushi I'm going to attempt is this one, the heart-shaped maki sushi. First, we're going to begin with the heart, which is a medium-sized roll. And I'm going to fill this trough with rice. Now we're going to lift this up, slide this closed, and then roll forward. And it's going to start forming the roll. Now we're going to take our nori sheet, we're going to place it into the belt and rotate it. And look how it feeds it in. That's so cool. And you keep rotating and rotating, and it's wrapping the rice in the seaweed. So stinking cool. This up, pull this back, and it should reveal our rolled sushi. Look at that. I think I've overstuffed this just a little bit. We're going to take the mold they provided to make the heart shape. So it has a V and then 2 bumps on top. So we place this into this like that, and then place this on top, and then use this cover to press everything together. Press, and then push this out, and it should give us a heart shape. Ready? Now we're going to move this setting to the large setting here. This is our plain sushi rice. Now we're going to place the roll that we just made right into that bed. And then make sure there's rice surrounding the entire roll. Close it and rotate. Okay, let's turn in a large sheet of nori and feed that in. I love how it just munches it up. It's so cool. Like adding machine tape or something. So cool! And then you unlock it, pull it out, and there it is. Look at that, so cool. Oh, mine's a little bit off center. I think I put a little bit too much rice on the bottom and a little too little on top. But let's go ahead and cut it and see what it looks like inside. So get my knife moistened. Oh man. Okay, let's just cut it in the middle and see. It does not look like a heart at all, but at least it's in the middle. That's great. It doesn't look like a heart, but let's go ahead and give it a taste. Here we go. Itadakimasu. So it definitely needs some shoyu or some soy sauce and some wasabi, but not too bad. And I love the texture of sushi rice. The rice cooker cooked the sushi rice perfectly. It's tender while being sticky, but my sushi making skills, on the other hand, could definitely use some improvement. So let's make some more. So let's tackle this one next. And this one makes a cute little pink flower. Adjust this for the small setting, moving the roller to the X. Again, fill the trough, roll it with the seaweed, roll it in. So stinking cool. Pull this back, and look, we have the perfect little roll, little cigar of rice. Oh, the little ones are so cute. So I'm gonna do this 5 more times so we have the petals for the flower. So we're gonna stack these up with the asparagus in the middle, and then we're gonna take this belt of seaweed and hold it together. Make a little bed of rice. Place our bundle in there. We want to completely surround it. This is my favorite part. I just love how it eats it up. There we have it. Perfect roll. I'm going to cut these all together. So I made the flower. Let's go ahead and try making the kitty cat. So what we do is we take our 2 pink rolls and we place them in the trough here, and then we smush it. And that will give us this kind of triangular shape. Okay, there we have it. That's going to be the top of the kitty's head. 2 pieces of asparagus, and these are going to be the eyes of the kitty. So 1 eye here, 1 here. We're going to put some rice in between that space. Now we're going to place the nose of the kitty, and this is a piece of carrot that's been cut into a triangular shape, and we're going to have it pointing up. We're going to put the 1 piece here, and 1 piece here. I'm going to fill this all back with rice. And now we're just going to cover the whole thing with a layer of rice. And more. Hopefully it will be a kitty. Here goes the nori. Again, my favorite part. Let's pop it out. That's so great. Oh my god. gosh, I think it might look like an actual kitty. Okay, this is exciting. Alrighty, lovelies, now for the moment of truth. We're going to cut these makizushi in cross-section and see how we did. We'll cut the ends off first. Hey, I think we did all right. Yeah, look, there's the flower. Yes, 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 way better than my heart. Look at that. That looks awesome. Cut the end off. Not so great there, but that's just the end. So let's go ahead. Look, it's the kitty's face. Nice. Dun 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 dun. Yeah. There's the kitty's face. A couple pieces for the ears. We need some very thin strips. Now it'll look more like a kitty. Otherwise, it looks kind of like a bear. There it is, the kitty. So pleased with that. Here are my finished makizushi. Aren't they stinking cute? I'm so pleased with how they turned out, especially after my first run with the heart. These turned out great. Look at that cat dish. So cute. Let's eat the flower. Itadakimasu. It's a very big bite. That little bit of dekofuri that we added gives it a little bit of kind of savoriness. It's not really tangy like sushi rice normally would be, but it does give it some flavor. But once you add the shoyu and the wasabi, it just rounds it out completely. The wasabi gives it a little bit of this kind of spicy kick, but not spicy chili, kind of more of a sinusy kind of spice. Delicious mustardy-like flavor. And then you've got that rich saltiness from the soy sauce, which goes so nicely with the nori or the seaweed on the outside of the makizushi. Although these look very complex, these are very simple in flavor. You can make a traditional makizushi with imitation crab, a little bit of fish roe, or a little bit of egg inside. You could add all kinds of flavorful additions inside for a more traditional and flavorful makizushi. All in all, I'm very pleased with how this machine worked. I think kids would love to do this. It does have a bit of a learning curve, but once you figure out how to roll the little individual rolls, it actually goes along pretty quickly. Alrighty, my beautiful lovelies, thanks so much for tuning in, and big thanks to Zojudushi and US Rice Federation for sponsoring this video. If you'd like to learn more about Zojudushi and their products, head over to www.zojudushi.com. And if you'd like to learn more about USA Rice, head to www.usarice.com. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media, like this video, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Toodaloo, take care, bye!
Hello, welcome to Food Handler Training. Thank you for being able to join us today. My name is Dick Peckerson and I'm the Chief of Environmental Health, and all my haters can blow me. Today we're going to present a short training program that is geared towards you, bitch-ass health inspector boy. We plan to present all the basic bitch rules and principles that you should be familiar with before I have to fire your dumbass. Inspector boy, you are the first line of defense against the injustices, crimes and forces of evil that plague the health inspection world, to protect the health and safety of the public. As you view this video, try to focus on what things are acceptable and which ones are not.
Inspector boy!
Far too many lives have been lost due to an overlooked barrel of expired cheeses. I believe that the most effective way to become a legendary health inspector is to watch a legendary health inspector. And that's why I reached out to my best and brightest, Inspector Ron, to come on by and show you how it's done. He should be here any second now. He's a real tough sumbitch. Take it away, Ron.
Oh God, this stuff stinks. Yeah, hello, I'm Inspector Ron here to do your regular city health inspection. Now, are you the only one who works at this filthy place, or... no, usually I work with Jose, but he's out sick. You know, he was coughing up a storm the other day. I think he got that coronavirus. Now they're not sure if he's gonna make it. Okay, is that why you're not wearing gloves?
I guess so.
I guess so. What else you got over here? Oh, well, I'm just over here just probing all the chicken vaginas, making sure they're nice and hot. Very good. I assume you sanitize that properly before sticking it in the meat? Oops, I usually do. Well, that's gonna go ahead and be your first violation of the day right there. Someone could die. And over here, you just have a straw sitting here. Someone could trip over this and choke on it or something. Okay. Well, let's see here. Oh, got a violation over here. Bingo, straight ahead. See that? Garbage can wide open. Someone could fall right in there and choke on that plastic bag. Okay. So do you always just leave stuff lying around like that? Well, we're short-staffed, so... Sounds to me like you're short-staffed in your brain. Are you eating all the food around here and getting fat, or are you pregnant? Because I can't really tell. Well, you know, me and my husband, we've been trying. Employees are not allowed to wear wedding rings. Oh, that's going to be another violation. Wearing a wedding ring in the workplace reminds other employees that are single that they do not have any love in their life and are terribly lonely, and it also reminds them that you may be handling someone's genitals late at night, which would also be a violation. Okay, some violations almost got shut down. Let's see if we can't, okay, well, you got yourself an apron on, and your hair's tied nice and taut in the back. You know, it's just like Lil Wayne said, long hair don't care as long as Shawty got it tied up. Then Daddy can ride all night long, and the same goes for the kitchen. You also want your hair tied back just to make sure it doesn't get in the food. Wow, would you look at that? You guys got all the classic flavors of milk. You got chocolate, strawberry, and Baja Blast. Unfortunately, they're all labeled as expired, so that's going to be a big violation. Okay. People can die drinking that stuff. Hey you, stop right there. Yeah, you, come back here. Well, God damn it, if it ain't Dirty Dan. I thought I told y'all to fire him last time I was here. Great, now it smells like a mixture of reefer and ass, which is going to affect the taste of the food. And he left the back door open. Great, and all the trash cans are open. No wonder why he's always coming in here. He loves living in trash cans. Dirty Dan is a no-good son of a bitch who's been making my job a living hell since the first day I started. He's a filthy rat bastard who has no respect for food, health, and safety. Oh, hey there, Jay. What you doing in there?
Oh, God, no, not today, Ron. I can't have you doing this to me today. I just got the news that Jose got sick and died, and now I got refrigerator duty, and trust me, I'm doing everything I gotta do. Everything's going exactly where it's supposed to go. I can't have you on my ass today. Just give me a break.
Those are expired, by the way. Huh? Just because an employee is having a bad day does not give them the right to completely disregard food, health, safety precautions. In this line of work, many others' lives are on the line. Just because you're mourning the loss of a fellow employee doesn't give you the right to completely phone in the job and serve someone expired produce. Okay, now what are you doing?
Gee, Ron, please, come on, man. I got a system here. You're always throwing me off. I'm putting the produce away where it's supposed to go.
Yeah, well, you're not wearing gloves either.
God, see, come on, Ron. I hate wearing gloves. They make my head so sweaty.
Sweaty hands are actually the #1 reason why employees are supposed to wear gloves in the workplace. Who wants to bite into an apple and get a big, sweaty, salty surprise right on their lips? And we tend to find it's always the overweight or obese employees that have the sweatiest of hands, so we advise that they wear gloves more often. Oh, God, Jay, what the hell is that sitting back there in that fridge? I see a whole raw chicken just sitting out here in the open. When it comes to the meats, a chicken is like a ticking time bomb. You only have a few minutes to cook, prep, and serve it before it goes bad. Next thing you know, you got bugs growing out of it, and it starts forming a gross, gelatinous goo. And not only is you got raw chicken out, but Jay, just down here, you got boxes just sitting there in the walkway.
Yeah, well, that box is mine because I'm in the middle of moving right now, you know? So.
Jay, you can't just have boxes and stuff here in the fridge area. You know, people need to be able to walk through here.
Well, yeah, but the box down here is really important. It's all my tax receipts. That stuff's really important to me.
Now, Jay, I see you got some food over here, and I tell you the truth, I'm not even quite sure what the hell that stuff is, but it all needs expiration dates written on them. You know what, Jay, I tell you what, I'm going to take my thermometer out and poke that chicken you got over there.
Go ahead. I was going to have that for lunch.
Yeah, before you do that, let me just go ahead and sanitize this, poke it, and make sure it's good for human consumption. All right, let's see here. Thermometer says this bird is room temperature. Jay, what the hell are you doing?
Well, I had to work in here with the door open because it was so cold.
Should you find yourself in the presence of food that is questionable in temperature, do not be afraid to use your properly sanitized thermometer. I cannot emphasize just how important it is to properly sanitize these things, because we discovered that several people were using these in their mouths and in their butts testing themselves for coronavirus. Dirty Dan, you rat bastard, you've done it again. What the hell you think you're doing eating out of that sink? The other employees need to use that to wash their hands. Off Oftentimes, employees will seek companionship while enjoying their lunch, but that's strictly against the rules and would cause for a violation. That's why I eat alone in my car. Okay, let's see here now. Oh, Dirty Dan. God damn it, Dirty Dan, you motherfucker. Look at you. You're all covered in shit. You're tracking in mud. Your hands are filthy. You fat fucker. Why don't you get the fuck out of here, you piece of shit? Never hesitate to go below the belt when it comes to safety. If a dirty motherfucker's trying to step up and act wild, then so be it. I'll put him in his place. We ain't out here trying to watch out for people's feelings, folks. Sanitation comes before feelings, which has always been the health inspector's code of honor. Dirty Dan, careful with that bird. You got the... Hey, what the fuck are you... What the hell, Dirty Dan? Are you bowling with that bird? What are you doing, you cocksucker? Fucking... And that's that goddamn warm chicken I was telling Jay to get rid of earlier. It's room temperature. It's bad. We gotta destroy it. Always refer to your handbook for a list of activities that would prompt a violation, such as playing sports with food, fiddling around, giving high fives, wrestling, also throwing pickles up on the ceiling and seeing which one falls first, as well as screaming out the word yeet several times, filming TikToks, playing hacky sack with the potatoes, testing the limits of the deep fryer using office supplies, and putting metals in the microwave, just to name a few. What you got going on over here, Jay?
Well, you know, I'm just prepping all the food for tonight's shift. I'm sweating up a storm because some know-it-all came in here and told us to make sure we're always wearing gloves. Sounds smart.
Now this is something I like to see, folks. Everything's labeled correctly. Sugar bin looks good. Wait a minute, what the hell is it? Oh, you got some trash in the sugar bin. A used styrofoam cup. Someone could have choked on that. Good job getting that out of there, Ron. You're employee of the month for sure. Okay, let's go ahead and check out the dry storage now. It's pretty straightforward. I can already tell most of this stuff is expired. And what's this down here? Well, would you fucking look at that? A whole bag of sugar wide open. Come on in, rats and ants. We're open for business, apparently. And it looks like we got some kind of salsa up here that says Picante de Culo. That's interesting. Never heard of that brand. You should always be wary of foreign sauces and spices that you may come across in the kitchen that are written in languages you don't understand. I always tell my new recruits, if you can't read it, then you probably shouldn't be putting it in your mouth. God damn, Jennifer, I like the way you're washing those hands, you dirty girl. Thanks, Ron. Here comes dumbass Dan, making me proud. Oh my God, Dirty Dan, what's with all that blood? Whose blood is that, Dirty Dan? And that's the wrong fucking sink, you idiot. God damn it, you're making a mess. Do we need to call a doctor? In this line of work, you will come across a lot of blood, so consider this a professional courtesy. And although rare, you may come across other bodily fluids. If you cannot immediately identify a sauce as a ketchup or a mayonnaise, it's best to simply just destroy it. Hey Jay, I don't know what the hell you think you're doing with that, but you can't take leftovers from the day and take them home. You didn't pay for it.
Oh, but...
Sorry. You're going to have to throw that out.
Okay, perfectly fine chili Rihanna. I was going to bring Jose's family to the hospital.
Yeah, Jay, I noticed you got this bowl over here. It seems to be filled with, I don't know what the hell it is. It looks like milk or something. It's god-awful. It needs to be thrown out.
All right, let me see. That's still good. I'll eat it.
A lot of people seem to think it's okay to eat food that's expired just because it looks good, smells good, and hey, it might even taste better, but unless you don't enjoy the thrill of diarrhea, I'd suggest not. Well, there's something I thought I'd never see. Dirty Dan doing some cleaning. You know, I'm proud of you, Dan, for stepping up and doing some mopping and making the place look... Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, God! Dirty Dan! What the hell, man? That's my Prius you just covered with all that shitty poop water. You're supposed to go dump the water out back away from the cars. You take that mop right now and you go clean the shitter, you fucking cocksucking asshole. Dirty Dan, god damn it, I was standing here listening the whole time. You stunk up this kitchen something fierce with those butt cheeks of yours clapping out turds. You're supposed to be in there cleaning. Now I gotta fucking go in here and inspect it. Oh God, it smells like someone took a shit inside of a raw chicken. And of course, look, he used all the toilet paper, left the water running. There's shit stains all over the place, and it looks like he hid a turd in the trash can. I'd love to stand here and point out more violations, but I just can't stand the smell. And And I'm afraid all this cookingware here is way too close to the bathroom with all the poop droplets traveling through the air. We're going to have to throw them out. There should never be any cookingware stored within 20 feet of the bathroom at all times. All it takes is one dirty-ass Dan to come on in there and blow his ass trumpet out so loud that all your cookingware becomes contaminated. With all the poop droplets, piss droplets, cum droplets, God knows what's going on in that bathroom, you can transfer things like E. coli and other STDs to your customers. And although it may sound like common sense, I must reiterate at all times that masturbation and sexual relations inside the bathroom is strictly prohibited and will cause for violation. Well, it looks like I've completed my health inspection, so let's have a look at all the violations here. Your heat lamps have black mold. Several employees have told me they don't have thermometers, so they use their finger to check food temperatures. Your refrigerator is not cold enough, and all your pots and pans are covered in shit particles. This is definitely a failing test score, and by the looks of all these violations, we're going to get really well acquainted. I'm going to have to keep on coming back here every week till we get it right. And there you have it, folks. That's a typical day in the life of being a health inspector, coming across all sorts of violations and how to keep your cool and not lose your shit in the presence of a dirty goddamn Dan.
And before we sign off, I would like to inform you of something very important. The employee, known as Dirty Dan, is actually a Daniel Castro, a wanted felon in the local area.